Welcome to the latest update on the 2024 race season preparations. Join Pete and Kevin as they fine tune their homemade 1,000 horsepower 6-liter V12 engine for the upcoming race in May. In this video, you will see Kevin servicing the rod bearings while Pete sheds light on the intricate details of this powerful V12. But that's not all. Witness firsthand the evolution of this car as we unveil the sleek new nose cone, part of the new transformation into a streamlined powerhouse. We hope you enjoyed this segment. However, before we get started, we want to acknowledge that today, March 30th, 2024, is Pete Ardima's 83rd birthday. When it comes to celebrating your birthday, Pete doesn't have any trouble blowing out the candles. Again, happy birthday, Pete. We hope you enjoy your special day.
That sure is a beautiful crank, isn't it?
Yeah. You see this chain? This chain's off a Chevrolet.
Wow.
It gets a 2-to-1 ratio. There's a bigger sprocket, twice as big, up here that the belts run off of. This is turned by a sprocket like a Chevrolet small block.
Okay.
So it's a 2-to-1 ratio from here to the crank. And then both belts, or it's only one belt.
One
No,
belt.
no.
No, it's two belt. Well, you got the belt here and there. You have two different.
Yeah, we got one belt for the
Yeah,
left
he's
and
got it
one
off.
for the right.
Yeah. That's similar to that new engine you're building, but that's how you're going to have those tensioners
yeah.
on there. So when you say off a Chevrolet, is this like a big block or Chevy 350? Small block. So that's like small block 350.
We shorten the chain, but it uses the same sprockets.
Okay. So that's sprocket on the crank is the same you would have on a Chevy small block.
Right.
Wow, that's crazy.
And instead of going to a cam, it just goes to a bearing and a sprocket.
Okay.
And then from there it goes to the 4 cams. This has got one belt for the left side and one belt for the right side. The V8 has the idea, you know, it's one belt for the intake and one for the exhaust.
Yeah.
So we can do cam timing changes.
And so I see Kevin's got a rod bearing off right now. So he's just
going to
checking the
replace
bearing.
all the rod bearings
Okay.
just for safety.
That's precautionary. And there it is. That's the inside.
We're running the alternator off the cam, you know that, right?
Now you're running it off the cam.
Yeah, because we turn the engine 10,000.
So that, it turns around 5,000 then? It's half the speed, right?
Yeah, well then it's got a reduction from here to here. Well, this is about 3-to-1. So it probably turns about, this turns 5, this turns probably 2.
Okay.
25. The heads are welded back to back,
Yeah.
so we don't have to fight the oil and water.
And there's obviously your ignition coils and stuff. And this is oil return or oil pressure.
This is oil supply.
That's the pressure side.
This is water. This is,
Yeah, that's got complicated on the outside.
this is water also. Very complicated. Well, not complicated, it's a lot of plumbing.
So what'd you end up finding in it, Kevin?
Well, I'm just checking the bearings. I just, you know,
Just as a
spent the season-
precautionary?
Well, we haven't run, you know, this since when we ran this thing in July.
Yeah, you're right. July was the
And,
last meet.
Just want to go through everything.
And so that's what they look like after you run a race season at 10,000
Well, that's
RPM.
What the bad one looked like.
This is a bad one.
Yeah.
But I mean, this has been dynoed.
Oh yeah.
On the
it's got a lot
dyno,
of
it's been
run.
down the track several times.
Yeah.
So
But there's something happened.
yeah, you
Crank
raced
still looks
it.
The crank still looks. Yeah, well, I made several 10,000 RPMs on runs on the dyno. So.
A lot, probably more on the dyno than it did down the track.
Yeah, I'm sure. We only went down the track twice with this motor.
So what were you doing with the Allen key right here?
Well, we have these little jack points here, so it makes it easier to take the girdle off. They're just a little
I see.
10 or 20 quarter 20s.
Oh, it's just to break it, to separate it?
Allens, yeah, they just jack it up to separate it.
Oh, so you're not having to hit it with the frickin'...
Yeah, so you're not sitting there with a chisel and a 9-pound sledge.
Ready to go back on, huh?
Goodness, this is gonna get.
just so you can get an accurate torque reading.
Yeah, it's the. I can't say we're not actually using ARP bolts, but this is ARP lube.
So it's ARP lube. Okay.
We're using different OptiTorque fasteners.
What's the final torque on something like this?
I usually go just 65.
65. That's the homemade crankshaft position sensor ring. That's cool. See the missing tooth? That's awesome.
It's like about a quarter inch too far forward.
Look at it.
Yeah. Wow, it's awesome, Pete. That is a beautiful piece, isn't it?
Yeah. Beautiful workmanship.
So Larry Stork, right? He's the one that made it?
Yeah.
That's some true craftsmanship.
Knows you have
Yeah. And then he made new side pieces right here.
Yeah, they go here.
That,
I got this glue still wet.
that virgin aluminum looks so awesome.
Yeah.
God. It'd be rad just to run it like that.
That's what Kevin said.
So then he just forms it all in here, and that's why.
That's welds. You can see the weld lines still.
That's
Get a weld
nice.
here.
There's 4 welds on each side.
Wow.
You've got to be able to weld that long and not have it warping. I'm sure he hammers it back.
He's really a craftsman.
Oh,
Really good.
Yeah,
I
he
wouldn't
is.
argue with that.
Yeah, he is one of the best for this kind of stuff I've ever seen.
He built the whole car, you know, all the sheet metal.
The sheet metal.
And then because this piece was in 4 separate pieces, and it took about 20 Zootzes to take it apart.
Yeah.
We had Kent Ritchie make it out of carbon fiber from here to there, and from here over. So
He
it's
said
aluminum all
the
the way on
reason
the.
he did that so you could just get to the engine.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when we take the cowl off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the wheels being inside of there, though, it is going to collect a lot of dust, isn't it?
Well, that was the problem before. Is the other streamliners just always got dust in the engine compartment or the driver's compartment. So
It's
we
really
had-
going to
we
have
had
to
a
be
lot of
sealed.
issues with that.
We'll go up and test middle of next month.
Kind of can see underneath, how that is, where the wheels are going to be.
What's this blue wire go to?
Awesome. Looks awesome, Pete. Larry did a good job.
Well, that's going to be it for this segment. We hope you enjoyed. Next week, the engine's going back in the car, so we'll make sure to have the cameras rolling to pick up some of that and document it, and we'll get that content out to you here pretty soon. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you.